Yo, what up guys, Mike here, coming at you from the mushroom farm. Great video for you guys today. So today's video, I'm going to talk about mushroom baggers because I just bought one here for my mushroom farm. And those of you who don't know, I'm a mushroom farmer, do this full time as my job. We are standing in my brand new mushroom farm here in Colorado. Built the whole thing from the ground up. I got a grow room right here behind me. The lab is in the front, the walk-in cooler's in the back. Got almost a decade of mushroom farming experience. So if you're in the mushrooms and farming, make sure you click that subscribe button right now so you get more mushroom and farming videos like this in the future. We've got over 200 videos on this channel now, guys, so this is an awesome mushroom farming channel, so be sure to subscribe if you're not already. But anyway, today I'm going to talk about baggers. Now, I've got a lot of experience bagging up mushrooms. Like I said, grown thousands of pounds of these things. Look at this. This is a bagger that I've made previously, okay? And now that I have this new farm here, I'm kind of a one-man show, okay? Don't have any employees, and I'm really busy right now. Got a lot of mushrooms I got to grow on the farm, a lot of orders to meet every week, and I decided to go ahead and buy a bagging machine instead of building one again. So anyway, I went ahead. Sales were good enough this morning. We've been making enough revenue. I decided to buy a bagger. So I had several choices. I've been thinking about different baggers to buy and this and that. I'll talk to you guys about that in this video, and I want to explain why I chose the one I chose. I'm going to roll a couple clips of this bagger that I chose just so I can explain it to you guys. And then once I receive it, I'm going to go ahead, I'll do some unboxing, I'll show you guys it, I'll show you guys how I install it. I've got a specific spot over here, I already know where I want to put this thing. You can set up, this fits good on like a 4-foot wall, you can build like a really nice system. So I'll say, the bagger that I went with, okay, just so you guys know, I went with the Fenrir mushroom bagger, okay? So let me just kind of talk to you guys about the baggers that are available, and I'll tell you guys why I personally chose the Fenrir and all that. I think it's going to be really applicable for my farm, okay? And everyone's farm is different. I know some people like some of these other baggers and all that, and that's totally cool, but I think this will be a good one for my situation. And those of you who don't know how this bagger works and stuff like that, we're totally going to trial it here on the farm, so you guys will get a really good idea, and I'll be like totally open with you about everything about it and how it works and all the good stuff. But anyway, so the Fenrir is the one I went with. This is a picture of the Fenrir right here. Basically, it is an auger-based system. I'll just roll a couple clips too. But it's a computerized auger system where there's basically a scale, okay, at the bottom. There's like basically a little plate that you put your bag on, and that is the scale, all right? And you basically tap that plate, it turns on the machine then. The auger starts dropping the dry material onto that scale. It's weighing it then, so it'll kind of show on this digital readout as it's kind of filling the bag up. Pretty cool. And then anyway, once it hits the set amount of dry material, whatever I set it at, then it'll start adding the water, whatever I set the hydration percentage at. So anyway, it'll go ahead and fill up the water, and then it just kind of shuts off. Then it's my job to take the bag off the scale, go ahead and set it aside, and put a new one on there. Now, some of these other systems are a little bit faster if you just have like one spout, but I'll say the cool thing with this Fenrir system, it's really compact, okay? That's why I like it. It's really compact, and you can put multiple augers just on one wall. I've got like one 4-foot wall over here that will be perfect because it's really right nearby where the steamer is, and I'm actually going to kind of rebuild my steam system a little bit. I kind of showed you guys in previous videos. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it before, but I showed my steam system. And I basically made a 55-gallon drum that pumps steam into a big livestock trough. And that's how I steam my blocks right now. But I'm going to steam them in a big steam locker, like a kind of a big shelf system. But I'm basically going to put my Fenrir auger heads kind of right over where I'm going to put that steam locker. So basically I can make the bags and pretty much load them straight into the locker then, okay, is kind of my idea here. And the cool thing is, on a 4-foot wall, I can actually fit 4 of those Fenrir auger heads. So you guys can see how effective in this clip right here these Fenrir augers are if you set up 4 of them. Now, I'll kind of say the system does get a little more expensive when you get up to that many auger heads, but I feel like there's some benefits to that, and I'll explain what I think the benefits are of the Fenrir system compared to some of the competitive systems to the Fenrir. Now, anyway, I had a knife valve, like a pneumatic knife valve system before, so that's like a pneumatic knife valve system. It's really similar to what the Thor machine is or the Myers mushroom machine. Now, these are super cool because the Thor, they market that it makes a bag every 6 seconds, and my machine was super fast too. I'll tell you, it would make a bag about every 6 seconds, pretty much as quick as you could put a bag under the spout. on those pneumatic valve machines and you hit the foot pedal, you're pretty much filling up the bag because it's dumping in the pellets and the water pretty much simultaneously. And then you go ahead and remove it, put another one on there, keep on going. Now I'll say with the Fenrir, what's kind of cool is you could put like one bag on, hit the button, put another bag on, hit the button, and you just kind of keep going down the line. It's kind of like, I don't know, for one thing, I think it will be fun just hitting the button several times. But one thing about having multiple auger heads is if you do have a failure, I feel like then you still have, like, let's say you have 4 auger heads running, okay? And then let's say one of them fails, you still have 3 more running, okay? So you could, like, do your work for the day with those other 3 auger heads, and you don't really have to stop and fix the machine. If there's a problem, I feel like with the Thor or like the Myers machine and you have a breakdown, you've got like one spout. So then you got to like stop and fix it no matter what. But the benefit I feel like with a Fenrir is you got all these, like I said, multiple auger heads, so you can keep working, get done with your day, and then fix whatever you need to fix. Another pro, in my opinion, to the Fenrir system is the fact that you can adjust the dry material pretty much exactly by weight, and the same thing with the water. It's not like entirely volumetric where you're stuck with like a 5-pound bag or like a 10-pound bag. You could make like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think the Fenrir only is calibrated, like the scale only goes up to like 10 pounds or 10 and a half pounds. So you are limited on like up to 10 pounds or something like that. But that's what I grow out of anyway, is up to like 10 pounds. But like I said, what's cool is you have that variability with the weight in general, that you could make some smaller bags or some in-between bags and kind of do whatever you want. So I think that's one cool benefit of the Fenrir as well. So there's kind of a pro there with the system. I will say, some people that own the Fenrir system told me that you do need to calibrate it before you go ahead and use it, just to make sure you got the system weighing things properly and distributing the right amount of pellets and the right amount of water. And some people were telling me that you need to calibrate it very frequently or pretty often. I'll test it out. I'll let you guys know what I think. But I know the guy that did tell me that, he switched to, like, I think either a Thor or a Myers bagger. I'm not quite sure what he switched to, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give these Fenrirs a shot. And another benefit I feel like with this Fenrir bagger is the fact that since I do no prep grain spawn, and you guys know I'm like a major advocate of no prep grain spawn, so look down in the description box below and you guys can see my recipe to no prep grain spawn. But what's really cool is I'll be able to load up the hopper basically with my millet and my vermiculite, and I'll totally be able to make my no prep spawn bags and then just load them straight into my PC or my autoclave. And I plan on buying an autoclave towards the end of this year, or over winter I'll probably go ahead and I'll buy my autoclave. But this year, in order for me just to kind of increase the speed of production and take a little labor off me, buy a little bit of my time back. I felt good buying that bagger today. I just totally felt like I was buying some of my labor back. And with one auger head, I don't expect it to go super fast compared to, like I said, like the Thor or the Myers bagger. I'm going to need to get like 2, 3, 4 auger heads. But once I get that many auger heads set up on that system will be going lightning fast. I just want to wait to go ahead. I want to test the one, make sure I really like the system before I spend the money on all the extra auger heads. But I totally feel like it's going to work great. I've seen videos about this system actually working on coco coir and worm too. So for those of you guys who like those funny mushrooms, this might be a cool system for you to kind of mess with too. But you can take that auger head and you can mount it on all sorts of stuff. So you could basically just imagine like a big batch mixer. Imagine a big batch mixer full of coco coir and worm. And you would have to like basically modify that batch mixer so you could put those on there. But just imagine that you could have this thing distributing all this coir and worm. So there's other things that you can do with it beyond just like bulk substrate when it comes to pelletized material. Now I want to say Main Cap and Stem is the manufacturer of the Fenrir, and they actually use combo pellets. I don't use combo pellets, but what I do is I just go ahead and I personally pre-mix my pellets and then I just dump it up in the hopper. And I like doing that anyway because then that gives me variability with my mixes. I can kind of make whatever ratio mixes I want. I'm not stuck with something like just a combo pellet. Now I will say if you do have combo pellets, you can still manipulate that too because you can blend other stuff with that and kind of reduce your ratio that way. So that's another option too, even if you are using combo pellets. But I just wanted to state that Main Cap and Stem, to my knowledge, they do use combo pellets. I do not, so I will have to pre-mix and all that. And you can set up all sorts of different like systems to pump your pellets into those hoppers. There's guys that set up like vacuum systems now on the Thor or on the Myers bagger. I've seen basically like kind of conveyor belts for the Fenrir system. You'll see, I'll show you guys, here's a clip right here. They call this the Octashroom, and they actually have 4 Fenrirs put on each side of this like big hopper. So there's actually like 8 fen rears total on this hopper, and then they have this big basically grain belt or whatever that's putting the pellets into the hopper there, and it's just dropping it down in that hopper, and it's letting all 8 of those fen rears distribute the pellets out. So you guys can see you can bag some serious mushrooms with this fen rear machine. It's like super effective. Well, all right guys, I was just super pumped that I was able to pick up that fen rear this morning. I'll let you guys know as soon as it comes in. We'll do a little unboxing. I'll show you guys the installation. We'll get it up and running, and then we'll be making bags on the farm lightning fast, guys. So anyway, hopefully you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please drop this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But that's all I got for you on this one, and I will catch you guys on the next one.